I can make something different, because usually all the carrots you ever eat in your whole life are sweet. They're either plain and they're crunchy and you're eating them right as fresh, or they're sweet. So I'm stirring this around here a little bit. Now I talked earlier about how to get flavors by adding herbs and flavored salsa. I need a little bit more liquid in this, so I'm going to add a little bit more. When you cook anything, beer, you see beer battered fish, blah blah blah, vinegar, wine, bourbon. You concentrate, the first thing that cooks off, alcohol first, acidity and vinegar. What you're left with is the concentrated flavors and sweetness. I was at the store yesterday when I was buying this. This bottle was $2.99. There's a bottle of balsamic reduction. Here's how you make balsamic reduction. You pour this in a skillet and you cook it down. You reduce it by half. You got balsamic reduction. A tiny bottle that was this big was $6.99. So I could buy this bottle, I could reduce half of it, and I could still have the other half for $2.99 versus $6.99 for the tiny bottle. What they're doing for you is concentrating the flavors. They're going in and saying, we're going to cook off the alcohol because you didn't want to spend 3 minutes doing it, or maybe in your case you needed some time, so you just went ahead and bought it. I understand that because I do it myself sometimes. But if you have the time, reduce those yourself. Same thing with wine. You can cook that, you can cook it down, you can reduce it, you can bottle it up, put it in the fridge, it'll last a long time. Keep those around. That's a ton of flavor you can add just right out of your fridge. Again, the balsamic, you can do the same thing. It takes about 3 minutes to reduce balsamic when you've got something simmering. Half. You want to reduce it to half. If you want that real heavy flavor, that real sweetness, about half. So I've got this going. What I'm going to come back and add, again, we talked about earlier on the what's the word I'm looking for? What is oregano? Herbs. Oh. See, I get so excited. I can't remember basic words. I'm going to add that. I would add some thyme to this. Now, where's my smoked salt? Again, most people don't think, well, mushrooms, that's a side that I don't have. Here's the problem that a lot of people have with their cooking. I get more online questions on this than anything. And I guarantee somebody here is going to shake their head. Sean, I'm making the same things over and over. I've had spaghetti again. We had it last week. We've had burgers. We had it last week. We have meatloaf. That's what I call a cooking rut. You've gotten into the rut of it's easy and you've done it so many times that it's just, oh, I'll just make spaghetti. Spaghetti, the one that really comes to mind, because everybody has spaghetti once a week, because it's like some kind of law that says you have to have spaghetti once a week. People say that, you know, what can I do? Well, the first thing you have to do, I'm going to add a little of this smoked salt. The first thing you do is start adding herbs, different things to alter the flavors. The second thing you do, this country is terrible for, I love this country, it's a wonderful country, but it's terrible for, you have to plan every one of your meals around a meat. A lot of people grew up this way, a lot of people know exactly what I'm saying. I've got a roast, so what do I put with it? I have to have potatoes and onions and carrots because I have a roast. Right? You're having spaghetti, so you have to have garlic bread. You're having hamburgers, so you have to have French fries. It's a rut. You're in a rut because you're thinking, I have to blank from my meat. Stop thinking meat and start thinking size. The way you get out of that rut, you add flavors, you go to the store and you pick something that you've never cooked before and you say, I'm going to make something with this, which most people are afraid to do because you don't want to blow your money on something. Or you look from the backwards, you look from the outside in. I have roasted mushrooms. Now what goes with this? What vegetable pairs with this? Notice I haven't said meat yet. I have this. It's right here in front of me. It's made. Now what goes with this? A salad goes with this. Pretty soon I'm into something, I don't even have to have a meat. I like meat. I'm a meat guy. If I plan things around it, I get out of that rut because I start to understand that it's not about one single thing. In this country, it's beef, chicken, and pork is so far behind most people don't even think of pork. It's beef and chicken. That's the way it is. And I have to force everything to be around that. Well, I get out of that by starting here and going to there. Maybe some roast chicken goes good with this. Maybe a burger goes with this. Maybe it doesn't. But maybe it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if I'm full and me and my family have enjoyed it, that's what matters. That's the name of the game. Am I full and did we enjoy what we just ate? The answer to that is typically yes.
Does anybody need more water?
This, oh look, it didn't splash probably anywhere. And that, look how wonderful that looks. Somebody's at your house, they're coming over for a dinner party. And you pull that out and they say, wow, you spent some time thinking about that. That's not something that I've had before. We'll bring that around, everybody can get a little taste of that. It's awesome. Roasted mushrooms. Try it. I think you're going to like it. I have to clean up where I splashed that everywhere. If anybody has any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask me about anything. Not about the stuff we're cooking today either. If you have a question, if your omelet's always stinking or too thin and they're falling apart and you can't get all the stuff in the inside of them, ask me.
When you say spices, certain spices will last forever, I mean, I really have spices.
Yeah. Now what you find with is spices, they tend to lose some of their pungency over time. So typically, I have two.
Ready to serve that?
Yeah, it's ready to go. I have two drawers at home. I don't have a really huge kitchen, but I have two drawers, two spice drawers. Things, when they're purchased, go into this drawer. After a long time, I'll say a year, I don't know, it's not set in stone. They go from here to here. This is the older spices. That way I know that I need to add more of those than I do of something that's fresh. Because over time, the flavors do sort of leach out of them. So I'm going to switch that over. I'll still use them. I keep them. What I'll usually do too, I'll start making something with those. If this drawer starts getting full, then I'm going to start making vinaigrettes and putting a lot of oregano in them or a lot of basil. I'm going to make pasta and start